What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action. Spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Oranos. His name is Tunison. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Odin. His name is Hells. Game number 1 went to Tunison in this best of 5 series. Very spicy. Hell's saying that he didn't like that first game. He's going to be trying to give it another go here. Going in with Odin in game number 2 yet again. Be matching up against Tunison's Oranos here. We'll see how things are going to go here. Obviously, this map very different to the last map. It's got a lot more hunt, a lot nicer hunt, not having to eat the rhinos at the start. Great hunting on this starting hunt is going to give a lot more food to Hells' early game, so he's going to be able to put a lot more pressure on early game, and also all of the hunt is very, very easily findable on this map, on the map Frozen Wastes. You always get a spawn of walrus, and then you always get at least one spawn of caribou. Now, there could be 2 spawns of caribou, you never know, but in this case here, we got 1 spawn of caribou, 1 spawn of walrus, and we'll see how things are going to go here for Hells in this game. I do think there's kind of 2 options to play this one with Norse. So option number 1 is you play very, very aggressive, trying to claim the center of the map. And that does work. It's a good way to play. Option number 2 is you actually open double Skraeling here, and you claim all of the goat on the map. If you can claim all the goat, then you can just sit in your base and enjoy the goat, obviously giving your opponent all of the hunt. But you don't have to fight them. You just get watchtowers, you sit back, you have a nice defensive game, all the good stuff happens where that's concerned. We're going to be seeing Hells here going for an aggressive play. I'd like to see him build a Ford Temple here. I'd like to see him put pressure onto this hunt straight away. I don't want to be seeing Tunison hunting on this food like he was last game. I think Hells is going to have to be thinking about that last game, thinking how he can get pressure a little bit earlier in this one. Now, Tunison, on the other hand here, I do think he needs to consider bringing his oracles back, or even manually heroizing and grabbing some relics here. Tale of Cerberus, that's actually a really, really good relic in certain situations. There's actually a funny one. If you play Kronos and you get Tale of Cerberus and you make the Argus and you get the Argus upgrade, you get, actually I think you can do that with Gaia as well. You get, every single time you attack with the Argus, it's a special ability. It's absolutely insane. Credit to Soup for that one, actually. He has a pretty hilarious YouTube shot on it. Go check it out on his YouTube channel. But we don't have Kronos in this game, or Gaia, so we won't be seeing that in this game. Now, the other relic on the map is over on this position here, Shingles of Steel, extra house hit points. I always think that relic's really big as well, but I feel like people undervalue it a little bit. As the Skraeling going to find an Oracle here. It's definitely important to be attacking these, as Freya is going to be coming through. Tunison has clicked up to Promethean. I looked over here and said he's only got 100 food. What has he been doing? He's already spent it on the Prometheus. So going for a 430 advance. As the mana comes down over here, and the Raven does spot this. But yet again, we see Hells with the Temple in the main base. Like, I just don't think you need to be that safe here with Odin, especially on a map like this. You want to be close. I would be, and you see the hunt over here. I'll be wanting to build in these locations here. This is where I want to be throwing my military buildings up if I'm Hells. Get security of the walrus in the middle of the map. Just put all the buildings there. But buildings in the middle of the base just doesn't make any sense in this matchup. But we'll have to wait and see if he's going to be able to make it work nonetheless. Promethean on the way. Prometheus is just about to pop here as the villager turns around, starts shanking. Get out of here, Mr. Herser. As the military barracks, counter barracks, military barracks coming down as Tunison goes for a very, very aggressive early game. I don't know if he did this last game or not, but 3 military buildings here for Tunison to start things off, as the villagers are going to be retreating back. The question is going to be, will he be able to actually build units or not? I have seen Oranos players cut villager production in favor of producing all of these units. But Tunison isn't doing that here. He's jumping straight onto the berries over here. 2 villagers on gold, 4 villagers on food. And he's going to be, and after this, he's going to go up to maybe 9 villagers and just spam units is seemingly going to be his plan here. I don't think he's going to be able to afford any more civilian units after this. And this is something that I think has become a little bit more of a popular play style for Oranos players of late. And the way that you work out what your opponent's doing and how you play around it is one, you see the 3 military buildings as a giveaway, but 2, you just click how many units they've got, and you go, well, how can you have this many units and be making villages? The answer is you just simply can't. So the answer here for Hells is to just sit in his base. He has not put the effort into getting the herdables here, which I think is a very, very big mistake. But you just sit in your base, you just get yourself watchtowers, and you just sit on the economic advantage you're going to be getting. Because your opponent's actually Tunison here has managed to build more villages, so he's not even sitting. This is wild. He's not even sitting at just 9 villages, just a little bit of idle villager time there, and he's cut the Murmillo out. So he has managed to get a lot of units out straight away. This is a really interesting early game from Tunison, in all honesty. As the Ulfsark coming in at this position here, we will be seeing the Oracle getting taken out as the units coming out here looking for a raid. I think there's more than enough here to defend, especially with the Lone Wanderer Ulfsarks coming back here for Hells. 6 Murmillo and 2 Terma would not be able to beat 5 Hersa and 1 Ulfsark, I shouldn't think. But also all the other units coming back here for Hells, as Tunison going to be getting pushed back. And I think, yet again, Tunison has managed to find himself in a pretty decent position dealing with this early game Odin. As the units sneaking through here, will Hells be able to drop something? He does have a military building here, but he needs to put a wall up or something on this position. He throws down a house there. See if he can get any sort of a building block. He doesn't quite manage to. As the units, we will pick off another Terma, which wouldn't be bad. As we do see Tunison now, he's doing some sneakiness, running with one army group, trying to attack with the other one. And it looks like Hells is just getting just out of position there. As Hells' villagers, they will be retreating away. He does spot that. He's not quick enough with the army, though. He's going to be losing 1 villager there, or 2 gatherers, maybe. Doesn't manage to lose that one there in that fight there, as medium infantry does come through there for Hells. Tunison, on the other hand, right now is sitting in the middle of the map, happily eating the walrus here. So his food income is going to be completely fine. And look now Tunison yet again has decided to cut villages. He's gone up to 11 citizen. He's going to be putting all the pressure in the middle of the map here. And Hells is now sitting in the middle here. He wants to push into these walrus. And it's really hard to read this from the Odin perspective. It's so hard to read how many villages does my opponent have and what is the correct play to actually beat that. Because this villager cutting idea of Oranos, it's not new. We've seen it before, but it is so strong. It is a really strong way to play the game. Because, not necessarily because it's actually a good play, but just because it's really hard to tell if your opponent is doing it. If that makes any sense. So we do see the walrus coming up over here. Units chasing over onto this position. Medium Murmillo has come through as well. Tunison's still sitting at 11 civilian units. That next one is coming out, though. So it's not like Tunison is completely cutting units and just going absolutely insane here in this game, but he is going insane to some degree. So these units still getting chased around here. These Olsak, I mean, 7 Olsak against these units. You could definitely turn around and take that fight as the village is getting pulled off of this location here. 115 population for Tunison to 106 population for Hells. This time we do see a whole bunch of throwing axemen are now out as the villagers are going to be coming in. The units over here taking the fight as well as the Olsak not in position there either. Shockwave coming down onto this position as Tunison's army, he's got more military units than Hells does. Hells has got 31 population. No, never mind. Hells has actually got a similar amount of population to Tunison in terms of economy. So Hells should be able to win this fight very, very handily, actually. And he does manage to do so. I don't know what's happening in this game. Is Hells cutting villages? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Tunison did win that top fight quite easily, though, with his Murmillo. So win one fight, lose the other one. No problems. So we do see this house going down. Hell's going to continue to try and eat these walrus in the middle of the map here. As the Terma gets sniped down, the Murmillo going to be moving back away from here. Tunison's still trying to put pressure in onto this hunt here, not wanting to allow Hells to have this. And the more Hells fights here, the further ahead Tunison gets, is the general rule in these sorts of matchups. We'll see if Hells can make it work. Imagine holding on to Forest Fire, though. As the army pushing through here. Now we've got Cairo Ballister in onto this position as the villagers are going to get pushed in here as well. We see some Murmillo coming in onto the back here as well. Hells is sitting at 90 population as he's trying to push through here. But Tunison is too strong in on this position here. He is able to completely overwhelm Hells yet again as Hells' village of population is dropping. Is still at 31. He's trying to break through onto these Cairo Balls. They're doing a lot of damage. The Valkyrie is going to be getting cleaned up by the Promethean here as well. Tunis is still sitting at 90 population after all is said and done. Hells is at 49 population with very little remaining here in this game. The villager over here is going to be getting taken down. The Gatherer there gets sniped, and Hells yet again tapping out after a very similar push here comes through from Tunison, as Tunison is showing a very, very unique-ish, maybe not a unique way, but maybe a more modern approach to the Oranos versus Odin war here, which is effectively saying, I just need to not overvalue production of villages and instead value military units to not to a degree that I cut villages completely, but just I don't need to value getting my villages out every 35 seconds perfectly as on the dot at all. He doesn't need to do that. He needs to get military units out and enjoy having the pressure on the map, and such as that he can defend his villages, such as that he continue to build units and not fall behind, such that he can then move back out into the middle of the map and actually eat his hunt, and such that he can then force fights where Hells is struggling. Anyways, what a game there. If you guys enjoying this game, please, and enjoying this series and enjoying this tournament, please consider the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.